You felt it before. Someone walks into a room, and before they've said a single word, the energy shifts. People sit up a little straighter. Conversations pause. There's a quality about them that's hard to name but completely impossible to miss. That's executive presence. And here's the question I hear constantly from professionals growing in their careers. I don't feel like I have executive presence yet. Can it actually be built, or is it something you either have or you don't? My name is Mtabisi. I'm a public speaking coach and a keynote speaker, and today I want to break down exactly what executive presence actually is, why it matters more than most people realize, and how you can start building it, even if it feels a little bit out of reach right now. So, executive presence is one of those things that's genuinely hard to define, but it's easy to recognize when you see it. Researcher Sylvia Ann Hewlett spent years studying this exact question, running dozens of focus groups and interviews with senior leaders to figure out what executive presence actually consists of. Her research found it breaks down into three components. The first, and by far the most important, is gravitas. How you act, confidence, decisiveness, and the ability to stay composed under pressure. In her research, when she asked senior executives what mattered most for executive presence, the majority pointed to gravitas above everything else. The second is communication. How you speak, the clarity, the certainty, the ability to command a room with your voice, not just your words. And the third is appearance, how you carry yourself and present yourself. It matters less than the other two, but it's still the first filter people use to evaluate you before they've even heard you speak. Think about gravitas specifically for a moment, because this is where most of what we feel as presence actually lives. It's posture, shoulders back, head up, real eye contact. It's the certainty in someone's voice, even when they don't have the full answer. The way their tone doesn't shrink or apologize when challenged. People are drawn to that, not because it's flashy, but because it signals that this person trusts themselves. And we naturally trust people who seem to trust themselves. Here's why this isn't just a nice to have. Hewlett's research found that executive presence accounts for more than a quarter of what determines whether someone gets their next promotion. Not technical skill, not how hard you work, presence itself. That number should stop you for a second, because it means two people with identical skill, identical output, identical results can have completely different career trajectories based on how they carry themselves and communicate in the room. This connects directly to something we've talked about before on this channel. Talent gets you in the door, but the higher you go, the more your success depends on whether people trust you to lead, to represent the organization, to be in the room when it matters. Executive presence is the signal that tells people you're ready for that, even before they've seen the full body of your work. So if you don't feel like you have it yet, here's the good news. Presence is not a personality trait you're born with. It is a set of behaviors that you can practice. So start with your posture and your eye contact. Before you walk into any room that matters, take a moment to physically reset. Shoulders back, head level, not down. Hold eye contact a little longer than feels natural. These are small physical signals, but they're often the first thing people register about you before you've said a word. Next, work on the certainty in your voice. This connects to something we've covered before on this channel, the pause. When you're put on the spot or you don't have the full answer, resist the instinct to shrink your voice or speed up out of nervousness. Stay measured, because a grounded, steady tone communicates composure even in moments of genuine uncertainty. And next, practice staying composed under pressure. Gravitas shows up more clearly in exactly these moments where it's hard to access. When something goes wrong, when you're challenged, when the room gets tense, the goal isn't to never feel shaken by anything. It's training yourself to not let that feeling control your voice or your posture in that moment. And lastly, take your appearance seriously. Even if it's the smallest piece of the equation, looking put together and dressing in a way that meets people where they are signals that you value the room enough to show up prepared for it. It's not about being flashy. It's about respect for yourself and for the people you are speaking to. None of these require you to become a different person. They require you to practice the version of yourself that already knows what you're capable of, even on the days when you don't fully feel it yet. Executive presence isn't something you either have or you don't. It's built the same way every other skill on this channel gets built, through repetition, through choosing the posture, the pause, the composure again and again and again, until it stops feeling like a performance and starts feeling like you. You don't need to feel like a leader yet to start acting like the version of yourself who is one. If this resonated with you, make sure you watch my next video. I'll see you there.